Hi, it's Matt Getter with Sherlock Home Inspections. Phone number is 971-212-7481. Website address yourinspectionneeds.com. Today's date is Wednesday, May 11th, 2023. The address we're inspecting today is 17143 Rebecca Lane, Lake Oswego, Oregon, 97035. We are about to perform a video inspection of the property's main sewer line through the front yard exterior clean out. The equipment being used today is the Rigid Sea Snake. This is one of the best sewer cameras in the market today. Before we begin this video inspection, it should be noted some of these sewer pipes made out of clay, concrete, cast iron, asbestos, Orangeburg may be in good working order and may never have had a clogged or sewer backup before. However, due to real estate transactions, attorneys, and lawsuits, Sherlock Home Inspectors must recommend the following to meet the current codes. All sewer pipes should be watertight, made of cast iron, ABS 3034 or HDPE pipe with all appropriate fittings and couplers. All sewer pipes should be free from breaks, offsets, separations, tree roots, bellies, and party sewers. Sherlock Home Inspections recommends replacing any sewer pipe that does not meet these specifications. Here we go. We are in 3-inch ABS plastic drain piping. We're running some water to ensure that our pipe is watertight and is going to remain watertight throughout this inspection. And the location of the clean out is in the front patio area underneath the office or bonus room windows here. And it looks like the sewer pipe direction is going to run just straight ahead at the street in front of the house. Pipe shows no recent signs of blockage or backup. Now there's no garbage disposal in the house, so you can see kind of what the garbage disposal tends to get rid of waste a little bit more cleanly than without. And so what happens is you have tendency for a little bit of buildup, so you kind of see like a plaquey buildup in the pipes. Nothing too bad, but once in a while, when there's no disposal, having the pipes jetted, which is kind of pressurized water blowing all of this out, and starting fresh again with clean, squeaky pipes is recommended. It's very minor at this point, but you can see there is a buildup or coating all the way down, and most of the time it's because there's no disposal. It's a no-nonsense pipe. It's running just straight as an arrow. No messing around. We're going to start to dive here. Let's make a small right turn and then start diving. As we reach the bottom of this thing, this is an area where it's not uncommon to have a little bit of standing water. It seems like for whatever reason there's this tendency for rather than gradually come out of the line, there's a tendency to go flat and then come back into a downhill pitch. And this is exactly what I was talking about. So at that area, you can see rather than gradually come out of the straight down dive, they tend to go flat and then you get some standing water. So this is the most common area that we see in sewer pipes that have some standing water. What we're hoping is that the camera goes through this and we get back to a downhill pitch immediately, but definitely some marginal pitch right here. But we're hoping this doesn't stick around for too long. So let's see. So 36 feet, we go underwater. Come out of it about 30, so about 1.5 feet, so pretty minor. It's kind of the two most common areas where you see water is coming out of a straight down dive, so we're driving straight down into the ground, and like I said, there's this tendency to go flat. And then the second most common area where we see standing water is the transition in pipe size. So we're going from a smaller 3-inch pipe into a 4-inch pipe right there, and so we kind of have both of them backed up to each other, which again is probably the root or the source for a little bit of standing water. Once we reach the lateral, we're going to turn off the water, we'll drain everything out. We're curious to see, we'll run a test on this area. Again, overall it's pretty minor at this point, but there is a little bit of a rough connection there with marginal pitch. So 35.5 feet is where the camera head gets submerged. I come out of it at 37. Now we've transitioned, so that signifies transitioning pipe size. 3-inch pipe into 4-inch pipe signifies transitioning pipe materials, ABS plastic into 3034 plastic. And then lastly, we're transitioning into a branch off the city lateral piping. And even though we enter into city lateral piping, technically all of this will be buyer owner responsibility throughout the entire length, start to finish. Reach the end of the line, we'll call it 67 feet to the lateral pipe. This is the large lateral pipe running through the middle of the road out there. This is the pipe the homes in the neighborhood, or at least the homes on the street, are tying into. And this would be the end officially of buyer owner responsibility, about 67 feet away from the house. We started in ABS, we transitioned to 3034, and we dropped in the city lateral at 67 feet. We're gonna run a test on that area. There's one area in question, and again, it's the common area that we see a lot of standing water and sewer piping, but some marginal pitch, and then also the transition into the larger pipe. So we're gonna pause the video, drain everything out of the pipe, and we're gonna look at that area again. Okay, we have turned off the water, drained everything out, and we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna run a test on that area again with the water off. What we're hoping is that, you know, half of it drains out, and then you're just feeling a lot better about things. But we'll see. It's pretty minor, all things considered, just right from the get-go. So I think it was at the 28-foot mark. So I'll just leave the microphone on as we backtrack. And the other thing is, when there's buildup in the lines, it actually makes areas of marginal pitch seem worse than they are too, because it just slows everything down, and it creates additional puddling and pooling. So here's that area, also 38 feet mark. Okay, so with the water off, let's measure it again. So we go underwater at about 36 feet. And we come out of it at about 37. So, you know, we lost about half a foot there. So very, very minor. Maybe as precaution, not a bad idea to pass the video and the report on to a drain repair specialist to see if he thinks any repairs are required now. And again, like I said, all of this debris buildup is not helping the cause. You know, probably we would lose even some more of that if it was all blown out, cleaned out. But overall, pretty minor, all things considered. So before closing, we would recommend passing the video and the report on to a drain repair specialist to see if he thinks that a repair needs to occur now. If not, most likely it's just going to be a recommendation to keep an eye on things. So we'd recommend having a sewer scope performed every 2 years or so, just keeping an eye on it. Of course, if things ever worsen, then some repairs could be required in the future. But
see where that's located?
Yeah, at this point it's about a foot of standing water. I'm going to pause video again and get a rough estimate of where this is occurring. Yeah, and the fact that, like Ryan said, the fact that it's at the bottom of a straight down dive, everything has picked up some pretty good velocity going straight downhill, hits the water, might slow a little bit, but ultimately everything is continuing on.
Right. Okay then, I won't worry.
Yeah, not too bad. bad. And like so you get all this blown out, then it's going to just be even better. You probably have about 8 inches of standing water, something like that.
You're going to be a professional at hydrojetting lines when you're done.
I can't remember who did it before.
I've got
They were really nice, the kid that came.